All right, cool. Yeah, bye. Okay, hey everyone. I really wish I was there in person. I really wish I could see your faces, but I'm just going to give you kind of an overview of where I've been. I realized when Mr. Cox asked me that I have been designing roughly for a decade now. When I say that, I mean I've been exposed to design for almost a decade. So ever since I started taking the class at Auburn High School. So this is actually some of my first pieces. So this was actually something I did in high school. I don't know if Mr. Cox still does this, but he used to kind of pull a handful and let an Auburn professor um, kind of select a few. And this was one of the ones that ended up getting selected, which was really cool. It was actually a professor I had later in college where I went to Auburn University. Um, but I think I look back and this is kind of where everything started clicking together for me. And just as a disclaimer, everything I say about design and about being a designer and what designers are like is very subjective to my own experience. So if it doesn't fit your idea of a designer, feel free to know that it's kind of your own path. But hopefully, this will be really encouraging and help you guys see what it's like to be a designer in the everyday, like taking what you're learning now and actually applying it to the future. Um, and maybe also influence some of you guys. Are we good? Mr. Cox is looking at me. Okay. It's hard with no feedback. Um, so this is actually another piece from Auburn High School. And yeah, that's me when I was in college. I somehow ended up back at the school, and that photo was definitely taken by my mom. So, um, oh, cool. More people are joining. Oh, hi, guys. I'm so excited to see. I love that y'all are on Macs. We did not have those in high school. We were working on PCs, which were nothing compared to Macs. So, anyways, back to high school. It was just like when I was in high school, I think I was just fine at most subjects. Like nothing really stuck out. And I actually took graphic design my senior year. And something that I think was really helpful for me to see was that I would actually spend time outside of school working on design projects, even though I didn't need to. Like there was no homework. But I just was always kind of thinking about what I wanted to do next. And one of the things that helped me, like looking back, see that this was actually within my skill set was that I didn't use the computer as the end thing. Like I wasn't designing around the effects in Photoshop. I was actually thinking about what I wanted to do and then finding those effects in the programs and tweaking them, layering them, adding them all together, trying to get them to do what I wanted to have done. So it was instead of using the computer as like the end piece, I was using it as a tool in order to get to my end result for design. So like with this one, it was a lot of multiplying, color manipulation. These are actually the same um, little water splashes as I did on this one. They're just different colors. So something that a designer actually said that I found out later is the work you do when you procrastinate is probably the work you should be doing. So whenever I had other projects like math tests or English papers, this is what I was actually wanting to spend my time doing. And I think that was helpful looking back to realize that there was already like movement in that direction. But I didn't actually choose my major until after I accepted Auburn. So I picked my college, just a good one. Obviously, it's kind of hard to leave sometimes when it's like a really good school in your own backyard. And I think I was a little bit resentful my first couple of years, but in the end, it actually worked out super well because Auburn has one of the greatest graphic design programs for a public institution in the US. A few years back, there was like the top 30 schools, and Auburn was one of two public schools listed for graphic design, which is kind of amazing that it's like literally right there. Um, so that worked out super well for me. But when I went to college, they really got us off the computer. They were very strict about like the concept of not letting the computer control you or define what you can do, but really working outside of that. And so we learned a lot of design principles off the computer for the first year. This was a 2D class we took. Everything's hand drawn. And I want to say that I did mine in under 24 hours. You can see the beginnings on the left, and it's actually over here on the right. It's a third on the top row. But other people I think took up like 60 hours for this project. So I'm like still kind of proud that I was so efficient with it. But the key was kind of choosing